where I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be a really good art project because I was getting peddled with like the craziest shit you've ever heard, like rape, like genital mutilation so detailed that I was like, is this ISIS actually writing these comments? Because it seems like these people actually admire ISIS because it's like the most grotesque, disturbing things about my vagina and what they wanted ISIS to do to it that I was like, holy fuck, like you guys must have like some.
Well, you had that Chris Kyle T-shirt, the "Fuck Chris Kyle" T-shirt. Was that what did it? Was that, or was it the being on the show that did it?
So you did warn me, just in case people haven't heard the last episode that I was on. I talked about how Chris Kyle was a sociopath. I talked about how he lied in his book about killing people, beating dogs or horses so bad that his hand broke. But the thing is, he's lied about so many things. Like Jesse Ventura's proven that he lied about that fight and stuff. So we can't really trust what he said in his book, but I think it's just odd that someone would lie about killing black people in Hurricane Katrina. Like, why would you brag about that? You think that you would brag about a story about like saving a child, but instead he talked about how he was actually bragging about like slaughtering people who were looting from that war and rewriting the history of the Iraq War. I think it's really dangerous. So I just, I talked about how what I really felt about Chris Kyle, and people got really upset. My friend Leo, who runs this like clothing company, printed a shirt, a one-off shirt, "Fuck Chris Kyle," and he was just like. He wanted me to wear it. I was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's take a photo. And I posted on my Instagram account. My Instagram account like doesn't have that many followers. So I was like, I did not know the shitstorm that would be ensuing whatsoever. So, wore the "Fuck Chris Kyle" shirt, tits out. 2 weeks go by and I was like, whatever, nothing happened. I wake up to it almost started where I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be a really good art project because I was getting peddled with like the craziest shit you've ever heard, like rape, like genital mutilation so detailed that I was like, is this ISIS actually writing these comments? Because it seems like these people actually admire ISIS because it's like the most grotesque, disturbing things about my vagina and what they wanted ISIS to do to it that I was like, holy fuck, like you guys must have like some sick admiration for ISIS.
Now, when you saw that, do you report those people?
So it started. I remember I was going to Baltimore and I just was getting it so frequently that I was like, holy fuck. So my Instagram account, I had to like make it private immediately because people had gone through and said, we're going to put our raping shoes on and find you, all this shit, So I shut that down. And then I went on Facebook and saw that, every single art post that I had on my art page, every single public. So I had to I didn't want to shut it down because I was like, I don't want to defer to these threats. But at the same time, it was getting so extreme that I couldn't handle like the volume of death and rape threats. Because at first I was like cataloging them and I was like, okay, I'm taking screenshots of all these. I'm going to make this giant like art project. And I was like, no, fuck this. This is like not, like, this is actually getting way too crazy. And then I got doxxed by this guy, this veteran who basically just wrote me and he was like, hey, I just posted your address on all the veteran and sniper forums. I was like, there's sniper forums? And he was like telling people, how to find you. And then I found out that my mom got doxxed. So my mom's personal information got exposed. And so luckily I was already moving in a week, but I was just like, this is bad shit crazy. So I tried to contact the cops for I think there was like 10 really graphic, like, I'm going to come to your house this Saturday, cut your clit off, like let you bleed to death on the floor, like just, I mean, things like that. I was like, and it was the person's public Facebook page. You can see his like license plate in the photo. He had like a baby, they're just like these people out there who are just totally proud to be like completely homicidal and rapey and really sociopathic acting. So I went to the cops and I was just like, look, there's like 5 people who I know who they are. They've said that they're going to come kill me or rape me or cut my clit off. And I was like, is there anything that you can do? And they basically just took the report and upset me so much because people were comparing me to like Pamela Geller. They're like, okay, Abby can wear a "Fuck Chris Kyle" shirt and like Pamela Geller can have the Draw Muhammad contest. I'm like, first of all, stop deifying Chris Kyle as like a prophet. Like, that's insane. Second of all, we're not talking about a marginalized portion of society, which is like Arabs who are basically like this generation's like demonized population. I was like, we're talking about Chris Kyle, which is like the peak of the empire, this, homicidal soldier who's like glorified in war propaganda and shit. So you can't really compare the two. But I just think it's really important to understand the real history of the Iraq War. And I think American Sniper really not only whitewashed it, but just doubled down on the myth. And, the establishment chooses these war heroes to perpetuate. And Chris Kyle is not a hero. I think that there are countless heroes that we would be much more appropriate to hail.
Well, it's hard to, when you look at a story like the American Sniper story, it's hard to figure out what really happened because there were definitely some fabrications. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to figure out, okay, military people, when they retire, they do not get much money. It's piss poor, and it's quite an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment as far as the way they're treated medically. The UFC has worked really hard to provide money for the Intrepid Institute for traumatic brain injuries, which is a huge issue with soldiers, because the medical community has made so many incredible advances that people live that didn't live 30, 40 years ago. So now these guys are living with some significant brain injuries. And while we were doing one of these fundraisers, it was hitting me. I was like, why the amount of billions and billions of dollars that are spent on this war, how the fuck could they not allocate a similar amount to take care of the soldiers? It's because the soldiers don't have a voice. Yeah. Like, nobody gives a fuck for them. Totally. Nobody cares. So when these guys retire, there's not a lot of options. And so I was trying to figure out, okay, why would a guy like Chris Kyle make up all these stories? He was talking about shooting carjackers in Texas that turned out to not be true. He said he was shooting people in Katrina that were looting. There was all these stories that didn't hold water. And I was trying to think, do you think maybe this guy was trying to fabricate a bunch of crazy shit and put it in his book because it would make the book more sensational and sell, and this would be a way that this guy could provide for his family?
Yeah, sure. But I mean, I keep going back to the people who just... It's like, yeah, I feel for soldiers who come back with traumatic brain injuries, but I do honestly think, especially, dating a veteran who was in the initial invasion of Iraq and stuff, there are people who join the military because they want to kill people. A lot of people join the military because they have no options. A lot of people join the military because they believed in the Iraq War and the war on terror. And a lot of people just want to slaughter people. And I think Chris Kyle was one of those people, unfortunately.
Do you think you become one of those people once you get out there?
I think it's exacerbated, astronomically, yeah.
Once you shoot the first few people, that was a part of the movie, is that the first person he shot was a kid. First of all, the movie wasn't good, and I was really confused by that.
You didn't think it was good?
No, I thought it was terrible. I thought it was a terrible movie. It just wasn't well done. It was like a clunky, made-for-TV movie. That's what it felt like to me. Did you see it?
No.
It's not good. It's not a good movie. And Ari Shaffir was talking about how bad it was, and I thought when Ari was saying that he was just being hypercritical, because Ari hates a lot of things that I like. So I'm like, maybe he's... But I watched, I was like, this is not a good movie. It's just not a good movie. And, Bradley Cooper's a really good actor, but it was wooden. I felt like it was just, didn't have a life to it.
But he had the ghost of Chris Kyle in him. That's what he said in interviews. Yeah,
did he really say that?
Felt like it was just.
Oh man, did he really say that?
Yeah, that's when I was like, Bradley Cooper's a douchebag.
Going for it.
He's going for all in.
Going for Hollywood superstardom. He wants to be the guy.
Shoot right to the top.
It's not a good movie.
Yeah, and aside from just the movie being bad, I think it's just unfortunate to kind of personalize this character so much when, ignoring... Basically, people came out of the movie saying Iraqis are savages, and it was all, justified. Because they're looking through the eyes of someone like Chris Kyle, when really, look at Iraq today. Millions of refugees. As I just said, the country is just completely destroyed. And it's like, what about those people? So it's important, we can humanize Chris Kyle, and of course we can humanize every soldier that's coming back because they were sold false pretenses to go to war. But I just have to feel more for the people who were just the occupants of the country, and they just were casualties of this mess.
Well, I think we should feel for